Do you like those little pumpkin candies? You know, the ones that taste like candy corn, but they're shaped like pumpkins? Well, how about if we make some pumpkin embroidery instead? Hey Kimberbell friends, Kristen Som here, and we're continuing with Candy Corn Quilt Shop. So today we are going to do the blocks 17, 18, and 19. They're the pumpkin pin cushion. These are so cute. So we are going to use Flex Foam. I think it's called Flex Foam. Yes, Flexi Foam with these blocks today. So I've used this before when I was doing the little felt friends, those animal ornaments for Christmas. Those were so cute, and I used that for this. I think that was my first time, and I thought they were so cute that I bought quite a bit of this Flexi-Foam to get ready for other projects. So this will come in your embellishment kit. You should already have this in your embellishment kit that you hopefully got from Oh My Darlings. And we're going to need 3 of these. And for this Flex Foam, the size is going to be 4 by 3.5. And like I said, 3 of them because we're making 3 of the pumpkins. So for the main fabric on these pumpkins, we are going to cut these to 6.5 by 6.5. And you need 3 of them. And it's that gray chevron, kind of, not really, I don't know what you call it, but gray and dark gray, 3 pieces, all of them backed with fusible stabilizer, and cut to 6.5 by 6.5, 3 of these. And then for our applique pieces, we need 3 of the first set. So all 3 pumpkins have these as our first set of appliques, and the size on this is 3.5 by 3, and it's that orange cauldron words on it. And like I said, 3 of these cut to 3.5 by 3, and all of them backed with fusible stabilizer. So you'll need these for one for each of the applique pumpkins, and then each of those pumpkins also has their own applique piece. So on those, we're going to cut the second set B of fabrics to 4 by 3.5, and those are the orange with white dots, the orange doodles, and the orange flowers. So on this 4 by 3.5, and all of them backed with fusible stabilizer, those are for our pumpkins. And for the second applique piece, these are a little bit larger because it's going to be more than one part, so but of that same pumpkin. And then as always, we need our batting because we're going to quilt these. And our final cut size on this, I want to say 4.5. Yep, 4.5 by 4.5 for our final cut size. And so that means that we want a piece of batting that's at least 5 by 5. So 3 of them, because there's 3 different pumpkin blocks that we're making. So 3 pieces at 5 by 5 minimum for your batting. And then we're going to quilt these, and 2 of them we're going to use Halloween for our background quilting. And since our final cut size is 4.5 by 4, that means that we want a quilting design that's 4 by 4. And like I said, 2 of them are going to use Halloween 4, and then 1 of them uses Wavy 3. And on the Wavy 3, we're going to use the horizontal version. Horizontal on Wavy 3. All right, and then we need our thread as always. So this one's got a few colors, and make sure that you've ordered your thread kit from Oh My Darlings for the Candy Corn Quilt Shop. And tell me, so do you like those pumpkins? Those they're those little candies that are shaped as pumpkins, but really they taste like candy corn. I'm curious, do you like those? My son loves them. My son loves candy corn. Actually, I like candy corn too. I'm not a super big fan of the pumpkins for some reason. I saw, before we started this project, I saw candy corn that was in like candy apple flavor, I think it was called, something like that, and it looked really good. I should have bought it because now I haven't seen it again. That looked yummy. So tell me, do you like those? So let's go ahead and get started on our project today. We're going to do blocks 17, 18, and 19 and make some pumpkin pin cushions. Hey Kimberbell friends, so for those of you that might want to merge a couple of the pin cushions together to save on stabilizer, save on time. You probably know how from our previous embroidery software tutorials, but just in case, this should only take a few minutes. What I've decided to do is I'm going to do one of the pin cushions, pumpkin pin cushion blocks by itself, and then I'm going to merge two of them so that you can see both ways of doing it. So plus if you merge all three, I used my 9x14 hoop to merge all three, and it was really tight. I would be concerned about the main fabric overlapping and trying to keep everything separated. So for me, I think just doing two of them in one hoop is sufficient on saving on time. So anyway, so real quick, how to do that. So I'm using Sew What Pro embroidery software, and up here at this title bar, I'm going to look up, by the way, you probably remember my monitor is higher than the video camera. So go to File, Open, and then you're going to first open your quilting design. So let's see here, Documents. All right, so the one that we're using two of is Halloween 4. So I'm going to open Halloween 4 in 4x4. All right, so there's the 4x4, and it automatically opens to a 5x7 hoop. So I'm going to go up here to this button that looks like a hoop, and I'm going to change the hoop size. And I'm going to use my 7x12 hoop just to get the length. In the 6x10, it's a little bit tight. So you can definitely do it in a 6x10. My only concern with having a tighter hoop is your main fabric goes over that placement quite a bit over. And so you'd have to be really careful to make sure that nothing overlaps. And it's easy to do, definitely something that you can do, but it's easier to just use a bigger hoop if you have that option. All right, so you saw I just grabbed all of it and I'm moving it out of the way. I'm moving it up toward the top so that I can merge in another one. All right, so you know, one thing actually, it's easier. Let's not do that. Let's put it in the center. If you open one and move it, and then open another one and move it, and then add in the pumpkin, then it's harder to center that pumpkin. So actually what I'm going to do is I've got my 4x4 right in the center, and you can see the little lines here vertically and horizontally. By the way, I'm going to make it so you can see my whole hoop size. So I'm hitting the shift button on my keyboard and scrolling with the scroll button on my mouse. And that makes it so that I can make the, of course, now it's not doing it. Oh, maybe. Okay, sorry. So moving the mouse button and holding the shift button makes it so that you can zoom in or zoom out. The other option is down here at the bottom, but that just takes time. All right, so it's right back in the center. And so right now I'm going to go ahead and go File, Merge, and merge in the pumpkin. And just a heads up there, when you go to Corn Quilt Shop, when you go in here to your candy corn, there's this pumpkin pin cushion also. So make sure to go into the quilt file, because that's a whole different thing. That's a secondary design. So that go into your quilt shop and then find your 4x4 pumpkin pin cushion and merge it in. And you can see it automatically goes right to the center, and that just makes it easier. So then you can drag it and like highlight all, select all, and then move all of them together. And that just makes it a lot easier than having to center between the little bits, because you won't have those center guides if you do it the other way separately. All right, so now we have all of that together. So actually, before I move it, let's put it back to the center. I don't know if it matters, but it'll be easier to do it twice. So I'm going to go ahead and do a file save. File, save as, always save as. because then if you save over it, you're going to, whatever your first thing that you opened, which was our quilting, it would now have this pumpkin on it, and that's going to make it pretty hard to use it again, right? So file save as, and give it a different name, save it wherever you want it to have it. And like I did it in my regular quilt shop. I already did this, that's why I know, but so in my quilt shop, so I made a little folder, you can right here, create new folder, and I made one that says with quilting, and then I named it pumpkin pincushion with Halloween 4. All right, so then it's got the quilting and the pumpkin, and I'm doing a save as, so it's not messing up my existing file, and I've already done it, so we'll just do it again. All right, so now you can go ahead and highlight all of it, move it out of the way up toward the top. All right, so make sure you've got all of it selected when you move it. So up here, now it's out of the way, and then go to File, Merge. And now the easiest thing is to do the one that you already just created, the one that's got the quilting and the pumpkin. So click on that, see it's got the quilting and the pumpkin, and open that, and that's merging another one. And you can see it goes right to the center again. So we're just going to move that down to the bottom. All right, so now we've got our 2. So as you can see, we have a lot of room in the middle, and that's how we want it because of the main fabric being larger. You want it to be able to have room without overlapping. You're still gonna have to watch it a little bit more carefully than you would when you're doing just one in a hoop, but having some room makes it easier. All right, so the other thing I want to point out to you is notice that we now have 38 steps. So what it's going to do is it's going to do this whole first one and then do the whole second one. And that's totally fine. You can leave it like that and it'll be great because you're saving on stabilizer. But if you also want to save on some time, then you can merge the designs together. You can reorder, that's the right word, reorder the steps. So remember how on our previous tutorials, I've always told you that this green, tealish green, is our stippling design, the quilting design. Here, I'll click on one. So see that, that's your quilting design. So that's always your marker of this is the first one, this is the second one. And then if you look also, half of 38 is 19. So this means that this is the last step of the first design. So after, so you can see it's that little top of the pin. So if you were to click on the very next one, which is number 20, then it's going to start on the next one. So now you know that the teal green is the end of the quilting design, and the purple is the end of the whole design, the whole first part, this whole first block. All right, so we're going to use that as our guide. So really easy. You just kind of have to pay attention a little bit, make sure that you're focused and not like doing a bunch of things when you're doing this, because then you'll get them out of order. So just remember quilting design, and the main thing you want to remember here is this purple, all right, because that is the end of the first design. So we're going to take number 20, which is always the first one, is the placement stitch for the batting. And you hit your shift button and you move this one up, and you're just going to move it up to number 2. So you can see when you click on it, now you have your placement for your batting on the first block and your placement of your batting for your second block. And you want those together, right? Because then you can merge them together and join them together and make it easy to do both. So we're going to keep doing that. So everything after the purple, we're going to individually bring it up to where it goes. All right. So this one goes with the next yellow one up here. The colors helps. After the purple is this next one, and it goes with this other blue one. And then this yellow goes with this yellow up here. And then we're going to bring the teals together. And it just always goes right after. It really doesn't matter if it goes before or after, but it's easier to me to keep them together in the right order. All right, so now you can see we're on our pumpkin. Oh, it's weird that I don't know why I did that.
anyway, so now we're going to be on our pumpkin. So again, we're just going to keep following, and we've already done the quilting design. So we're going to do these next, which is the placement for the pumpkin. So 25 goes up to under 11. All right. And then yellow with its yellow counterpart, blue with its counterpart, yellow with its counterpart. You can tell because they're doubled up, right? So it's always going to be like this one doesn't have a double. So you know that this blue goes with that blue. It's easy once you get the hang of it. I know it can look a little bit intimidating and it's not though. It's really very easy. All right. So then the green with the green, brown with the brown, gray. And I already did all of this earlier. So when I save as, I'm just going to save it again. But I just started on it and thought, oh, people might need a little reminder of how to do this. And it only takes a few minutes. So look, we still have our 38 designs, but see how they're all doubled up now and they're all together. You can leave it like that if you want. You can leave it on the previous one where they're all separated. But to make it easy and to make it quick, we can join them, right? So we would go up to here, edit, join threads. And then it says join all adjacent threads of the same color. And you say, okay, so right now we have 38 steps and now we're down to 19. Easy. So the only thing that you would do differently is there's not going to be pauses for you to be able to put your fabrics down. So you would put them down together. When you do the first one, you do the second one, or you hit that little, the green button on your machine, the go button, hit that button and it'll pause it so that you can put it down or make sure it's all straight or whatever works for you. This is not required at all. You can do all 3 pumpkins separately, perfectly fine, no problem at all. Or you can merge them and have it be a little bit quicker of a process and learn something new. Totally up to you. Like I said, I'm using Sew It Pro embroidery software. I bought it tons of years ago from S&S Computing. I think it was like $60. And it's just user-friendly, very, very easy to learn. So this is just a little add-on if you wanted to do this. That's all. All right, let's get back to sewing.